Travis with T Wood and Metal, and thank you for joining me on my first video for my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to teach y'all kind of the basics of how to cast metal, pewter metal into wood. I had the idea of casting metal into wood a few years ago, and I experimented. I made a lot of mistakes, so I'm going to save you guys some of the mistakes so you don't make the same ones as I do. I experimented with different metals, bismuth and pure tin, and I really like pewter. I think pewter is the best. There are different types of pewter, which I will also talk to you about later in this video. And I started with flat stuff like this, pieces of wood that have natural voids in it, you know, kind of flaws in it that I could fill with metal. And once it's kind of cast in and polished, you're going to end up with a product that looks something like this. And then I got into turning wood. So today we're actually going to be filling some round pieces, which I'm then going to put on the lathe and turn with wood. So let's talk about what we need. Of course, first we're going to need something to cast pewter in. A nice cast iron pan is fine. Make sure you get one that you're just going to use for metal. Don't use your nice cast iron that she uses for cooking. Of course, we'll need some pewter and some wood, and we'll talk a little bit about wood selection. How did this get in here? Let's get rid of this real quick. So this is just a common cast iron pan that you can find at any store. Of course, with the handle, it's got a little spout. There are probably better things to cast pewter with, but this is what I've been using. There's several different types of pewter that I want to talk to you about. So this is R98 pewter. This is what we're going to be casting today. I get this from Roto Metals. And R98 pewter is a mixture of tin and with a little bit of copper and bismuth. This is a really good pewter for fine details. What we're casting today has a lot of kind of small cracks and everything. It reduces shrinkage. These are just some scraps of R98 that I'm going to throw in the pan. I also keep R92 pewter. So R92 pewter is actually a mixture of tin and antimony. And this is, it's actually the hardest pewter. It's a little bit stronger. So I have both of them depending on what application I'm going to do. But today, I picked a few pieces of wood that I've kind of pre-turned, and they have some real small cracks and crevices. And so today I'm going to use the R98 pewter. So let's talk a little bit about wood selection as well. So the key to casting metal into wood is metal does not bond to wood. Metal does not bond to wood. So it has to be held in place by the form it's cast into. So it goes in as a liquid, it hardens, it's held in that place. So I like to pick pieces of wood with like rot or, you know, a lot of flaws, things that other people would see as firewood, things that other woodworkers wouldn't want to turn because it has too many flaws and rot and everything. So this is a piece of an oak burl that I'm going to make a stein out of. It has this long crack here, which I'm going to fill with pewter. It also has some other small cracks I might do some other techniques with that I'm going to have to fill with something. It has a lot of flaws, but I love the flaws because I can do really cool things with it. This is a bowl blank. It still has the faceplate on it of mesquite that I got on discount because no one else wanted it. It's got cracks and it has this hole in it here. So I kind of chiseled out a little bit to get the void a little bit bigger so that when I pour pewter in there, it's the overhang is going to hold that pewter in place. So there's a little bit of preparation we're going to do to both of these to make sure the pewter doesn't spill out. Also, the other thing that's really important is this is a piece of scrap plywood I had. My wife just got these countertops made, and I'm going to spill some pewter a little bit. So I love my wife. I want to stay married. So the great thing about pewter is that it melts at like 460, 500 degrees, which is what you can cast it at. So it's a rather low temperature that doesn't burn the wood. Also, you can melt it at your stove on home, just any regular electric stove. in a pot. You don't have to have a fancy furnace or smelter. You just heat it up, put it on high, and give it a few minutes, and it'll melt down just like it is now. Isn't that beautiful? So now that our pewters are all melted, what we're going to do is we're going to scrape some of this crusty stuff off the top. Sometimes there's some weird little things in pewter that don't melt. I don't know what it is, like carbon or whatever, but you just kind of scrape the crap off the top and it'll kind of ball up. We don't want this in the pewter because if it ends up in the finish, you're going to have like some imperfections and it's not going to be as pretty as we want, especially if you're remelting like scraps of pewter, not from a fresh new piece of pewter. You get these little bits of just stuff that doesn't melt. So we're going to scrape that out, and then our next step is going to be to cast it in pewter. I just dropped a piece. Hang on, let me get that out. All right, so now we're ready for the fun part. We're going to cast in pewter. Even with the rubber handle on here, I still put on a glove. It still gets hot sometimes. So we're going to try and do this kind of quickly, kind of all at once, and let's see how it goes. Oh, that was pretty good right there. This one I'm probably going to have to do twice because those two holes, and it's okay if a little bit spills. Ooh, okay, yeah, this is why you don't really want moist wood, because moisture in your wood can cause the pewter to pop. Okay, we're gonna stop right there and let that harden. And all right, sometimes you got to do multiple pours. I'm gonna do a little bit more in this crack on this side. Then I'm gonna rotate this piece a little bit and pour the rest on the other side, just to kind of get it all in there. So pewter scraps you can recycle, you can remelt. You just kind of want to keep it clean and keep junk out of your pewter. I'm going to throw this back in and pour a little more, as much as it'll take, and until I can get this kind of full. Ideally, you want to do it in one pour, but sometimes it takes more than others. You kind of gotta let it harden. All right, I've rotated this a little bit, and now I'm going to start pouring from the other end. Yeah, we probably should wear some safety goggles. Safety first, guys. So pewter does not pop like that unless there's some sort of moisture. And typically what I have is pretty dry. This has been sitting around for a few months, and it should be dry, but I guess it's not, so you never know. So I've returned with safety glasses. So we should be good now, and I'm going to pour the rest of this in here and maybe melt some more if I need to. Let me just stand back just in case we have any surprises here. All right, let's hope this is the last little bit so I can kind of fill this crack all the way to the surface. Now that it's cooled. Oh, there we go. Just gonna see if I can do a little bit more. All right, great. So I think we got all the pewter we can get in this piece. So we'll go ahead and take the foil off. And then next step is really to kind of get all these scrap pieces of pewter off of the piece. As you turn it, in upcoming videos, I'll kind of demonstrate how to turn pewter-filled pieces, how to finish them, how to polish them, this and that. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. If you did, please, this is my first video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll show a lot of other things, crazy things that I make and techniques that I've figured out. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for joining me. This is kind of the product after pewter's been cast. It's not pretty, but it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a really cool beer stein. I can't wait to share it with you guys.